Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 4, verse 30. Be not as a lion in thy house, nor frantic among thy servants. HALALYAM YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM or QADASH. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of my millstone that rule well and teach well, orderly and fervently through the Spirit. To the Akim, my fellow laborers, risking their lives in freedom to push this word out in truth and sincerity. To the Akim, YAHAWAH, listening and learning, being doers of the word and abiding in the faith. And to the speckled birds scattered abroad that look like the other nations but are truly Yasharallah through the Spirit. Shalom Barakatam. This is your brother Ariel from the GMS Orlando camp. And I just want to make a quick lesson. It's kind of a correction on a lesson I did maybe like a couple months ago. One of the 3 precepts, it was around number 40, I think, where I was going into how, the woman, needs to obey her husband. And I was real fired up in the spirit. And now that I think about it, I should have made the correction a lot earlier, but it's through the Spirit. I just was watching a brother's lesson, and which also, that's the funny thing about it, which it's all spiritual. That lesson was also from a couple months ago, I think, and I was just going through my watch later and watching a couple of videos right now, and it was like, hey, it's all through the Spirit. And that's when the brother, I got a different perspective through the brother's live lesson. So going into that video I did, or not even really going into the video I did, because through the Spirit, it's not like I the YAHAWAH, I can still stand by the lesson. It's not like I have to take back anything I said necessarily, but it's more like there's nuance to it. It's not, it's not all black and white, in the sense that it's not a one size fits all. Okay. There's also the perspective of us as men dealing with our women. We have to remember to in everything, because it was a general lesson, but in everything in general, you also have to remain humble. You also have to consider, if you are to be a ruler, if you are to be a judge, which we are being built up to be, you got to consider, like the scriptures say, you shall hear the small as well as the great. You shall not respect persons in judgment. You got to humble yourself. You have to be taught. You have to be brought up as a child, like Yahawadah said. So like this scripture says, be not as a lion in thy house. Okay? How one brother deals with his woman, that's not necessarily how you should deal with your woman. Everything, is different. What the brother said, he said something beautiful. He's like, your spirit and your woman's spirit is unique. Not everything is gonna be the same from one brother's household to another. Dealing with your children too. He was like, don't have that prideful spirit. Like if your kid, little 6-year-old kid, come to you like, Dad, why do you do it like this? You could have did it like that. And don't be all, man, you a little kid, you're not supposed to know anything. Who the hell are you to talk to me and blah blah blah? No, the kid is actually right. He might actually be right. Like, man, you should have done it like this. And you just, humble yourself. Like, okay, consider what he said, and if he's right, humble your damn self. Okay, because people want to fire fire up on people that may be of a lower position or whatever, you know. And that goes for everything. We understand that in the world, man, these people don't walk according to the Spirit. They're completely wicked. You know, your managers, your bosses, whoever, they're off. So this is our learning experience. This whole life, you know, is for us to be built up to be those perfect men of the Lord. Yahawadah willing, we're a part of that number. So this is all a part of it, you know. And specifically speaking to the subject of dealing with your wife, okay, yeah, again, you know, we learn things, a lot of things are in general, but when it comes to your personal walk, that is your personal walk, there's a lot of nuance and details surrounding that, you know, you can't just copy paste a brother's methodology or his ways of dealing with things to yourself. It don't apply to you, you know. Every brother's situation is different, okay. Like the brother said, man, your spirits are unique to y'all. How y'all deal with each other, you can get counsel, get advice and things like that. You can get inspiration and motivation, all that, exhortation, all that. But when it comes to like really, well, let me read this, right? Proverbs 30, verse 18. There be 3 things which are too wonderful for me, yea, 4 which I know not: the way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid. Okay, how a man deals with his woman, that's between him and his woman, you know. So, you know, the Lord had me take a completely different approach than how I was planning on dealing with my situation, and that was through the Spirit. Going back to how it said in Sirach 4, be not a lion in thy house, because I was in the spirit of, you know, look, this is what it is. I'm not trying to talk. Like, either you with it, you know, you gonna listen and you with what I'm on, or you can go. I don't give a shit, because that was just how I was feeling at the time. But man, another wise thing that a brother said through the Spirit, man, feelings change day by day. You can't operate off of emotion. Emotions are fleeting. You need to operate off the Spirit. That's static. Okay, YAHAWASHI don't change. His words, his wisdom stands forever. Forever. And we know wisdom is applied knowledge. Okay, and you gain that through experience. You know, so in these experiences, what you're supposed to do is lean not on your own understanding, but lean on YAHAWASHI. And then it's going to work out for you, you know. If you walk in the Spirit, you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Okay, be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon thy wrath. We can't operate off emotion, off of worldly shit. We can't get carnal. Okay? And maybe the video needed to go out to the Spirit. But, you know, we still have to use wisdom. We still have to humble ourselves. Okay? We still need to understand, like, hey, if we're not walking in the Spirit, if we're not operating in the Spirit, there's something wrong, and we're going to go astray, you know? So, and let me get this, Proverbs 29 and 22. An angry man stirreth up strife, and a furious man aboundeth in transgression. Like, man, some brothers, you know, get into, like, scuffles with their ribs, you know? Some brothers is dealing with that. Some brothers never yell. Some brothers, you know, it's all different from brother to brother. But regardless of what your situation is, your personal unique situation is between y'all's spirits, okay, you still have to operate within the spirit. You still have to operate according to the words of YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI and lead your household, righteously. And that starts with yourself. It starts with examining yourself, humbling yourself, understanding whether or not you are moving how you're supposed to move. Okay? You have to consider the circumstances and don't just be like, no, it's my way or the highway. Because sometimes you could be wrong. Or sometimes it's just not best to do this right now. Okay? And a furious man aboundeth in transgression. Alright, so it's going to cause you just seeing red. You just being like, no, this is what it is, shut up, I'm not hearing nothing. It could cause you to go off. Okay? A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Okay? But yeah, I didn't mean for this to be long at all, through the spirit. I just wanted to bring that out. A little correction and, more context, more understanding, more nuance. And that's in everything that we do, Because YAHAWASHI knows what's best for us. He has our situations the way they are for a reason. And ultimately it's to build us up. He's putting us through these trying times and these trials to refine us, to teach us, and if we want to be those men, we got to go through the fire. Okay? We got to, always remain humble, man. That's the most important thing, man. Remain humble. Okay? We don't know it all. We're not perfect. So we have to remain humble. And the scriptures say, humble thyself before YAHAWAH and he will exalt thee in due time. Okay, so I pray that the lesson was edifying, exhorting, and uplifting through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH. The YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI KAYAHA QADASH bestowed upon me to bring out this lesson and push forth this word. Keep pushing, keep praying, keep fasting, keep enduring, keep striving for the truth not to death, and YAHAWAH shall fight for thee, and keep abiding in the faith. DTA, Abad Babal, Kwame Yasharala, stay strong, we're almost home. Ahabatam, may the blessing of election be upon all your households. Shalom, Wabarakim, Lahabakaria, meaning peace and blessings to the elect. YAHAWASHI Ratazah, we may be part of that number. And blessings, honor, glory, and power be unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, Tamiyad, Walai, Walamyam, always and forever. Shalom.